And now I'm delighted to present our featured speaker, Emily Mackay. As we all know, I'm going to truncate my remarks because you've got a program, and we all know Emily. She's a Bearcat lifer, right, Emily? And we are just delighted to have you here today and celebrating our 20th annual Celebrating Women Athletics event. As we know, she just graduated in 2021. I'm just going to jump ahead to her beautiful, the records that she has set, both beginning in 2019, 2016, and it was in 2017 that she earned her first of 5 All-American honors when she placed 14th overall in the NCAA cross-country championships. From there, she added an additional 4 additional All-American honors in track and field and capped her collegiate career with a 6th-place finish in the 1500. She signed professionally with New Balance Boston in June of 2022, and the following year, she became the only 13th American to break the 4-minute mark in the 1500 meters. You are now a part of Binghamton Bearcat history, Emily, and I want you to all give her a rousing Binghamton Bearcat welcome. Emily Mackay is finally back in Binghamton.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Kate, for that wonderful introduction. Wow, this is incredible. And standing here today is such an honor. I remember sitting in this very room 6 years ago, listening to Joan Benoit Samuelson speak, the first woman to win an Olympic gold in the marathon. I left that luncheon feeling incredibly inspired, and I only hope to pass that feeling along to you all today. This is such a full circle moment for me, because 6 years ago, I was a bit lost in life, not quite sure who I was or what I wanted, and a lot has changed since then. Now I get to stand up here and share my story with you all of how I went from a lost college student to an Olympian. After having struggled with running for a couple of years, I fell into a rut. I had a rough transition from high school to college. I was injured and homesick at Oregon State University, and I made the decision to give up my full scholarship to transfer to Binghamton as a walk-on. I wanted a fresh start. I had so many people telling me I was making the wrong choice, but I knew in my gut it's what I needed to do, and my happiness was more important to me than any amount of money. It ended up being the best decision I've ever made. It was anything but easy, though. For my first few years of college, I was just going through the motions. I went to classes, I went to practice, and I did what I needed to do to get by, but nothing more. I was happy with just passing my classes and running well enough to be on the team. I wasn't truly invested, and I wasn't putting my all into everything I was doing. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was settling for mediocrity, doing just enough to get by. Part of the reason was because I was scared of failure. I wasn't sure I would ever be able to run as fast as I did in high school. I was very much in my comfort zone, and I was also a bit isolated. Because I was a sophomore coming into Binghamton, I didn't live in the dorms. And to save money, I lived at home rather than living off campus in the house with my teammates. I had no idea what I was missing out on. Slowly but surely, something changed. I started paying attention to the people around me at Binghamton more. It happened gradually, but thinking back, it feels like it happened all at once. I had teammates who were so disciplined, and coaches who believed in me. I had classmates who would be disappointed to get a B in a class. I saw how they approached their life with intention, and I asked myself, what if I do the same? What if I stopped settling for good enough and started trying to be great? Then what would I be capable of? That question led to a shift. I began spending more time with my dedicated teammates. I started staying after practice to go to the training room instead of just rushing home. And I have to admit, part of the reason was because I had a crush on my teammate and now boyfriend Grayson. So, Coach Acuff, you can thank Grayson for that one. And that year, 2019, I moved into the cross-country house with my teammates and strengthened friendships to last a lifetime. I also started studying harder. I went from being a B student to a straight A student. Each little accomplishment was so rewarding, and it helped fuel me on this path to becoming the best version of myself. They say you become like the people you spend the most time with, and at Binghamton, I was surrounded by some pretty incredible people. So that's when things were really starting to turn around for me. But then COVID happened. And for a lot of people, that time felt like everything stopped. But for me, it felt like an opportunity. No races meant no pressure, just time to get better. I trained like never before, and for the first time in a while, it was not because I had to, but because I really wanted to. I began to love running again. It was my favorite way to start the day because of the sense of accomplishment and energy it gave me moving forward in the day. And one day during COVID, Coach Acuff gave us a 3K time trial to see where our fitness was because we hadn't raced in so long. To her surprise, I asked if I could do a 5K instead, which was crazy because I told her I would never run a 5K on a track. She was confused by the request but said I could. The reason I asked was because I wanted to PR and run faster than 17 minutes. Grayson paced me, and I ran 16:37. And when I texted my time to Coach, she called me immediately and said, "No, you didn't." So it's a good thing my friend and teammate Dan Schaefer was there to witness, because if he wasn't, I'm not sure she would have believed me. A little over a year later, I qualified for cross-country nationals and finished 14th in a race I thought I would never qualify for. That earned me my first All-American honor, and it lit a fire in me to earn as many of those as possible in the year and a half I had left of college. I'll never forget the moment Annette told me, "I think you can run professionally." And that was the moment I decided this wasn't just something I was doing for now. This was something I wanted to do for as long as possible. And of course, like everyone says, success is not linear, and sometimes the hardest lessons are the ones that shape us the most. The winter after my big breakthrough, I went into indoor NCAA nationals with the fastest mile time in the country. I had never wanted to win something so badly, and I truly believed I could do it. Everything was going perfectly leading up, until it wasn't. In the prelims, I made a crucial mistake. With 50 meters to go, I let up, thinking I had my spot secured. I didn't see or hear the girl coming up on my shoulder, and just like that, she beat me at the line. I was out of the final. And I can't explain how devastating that was. I built everything up in my mind and done everything right leading up to that race. In a split second, I lost my shot at the final. For days, I replayed it in my mind, but then I asked myself, what am I going to learn from this? I chalked it up to inexperience, but more importantly, I made a promise to myself I would never let up at the line again. I had learned a lesson, the hard way, but I learned it. And that to me is what this sport and life is all about, making mistakes and learning from them. Because who knows, maybe if I hadn't made that mistake in college, I would have made it at the Olympic trials. There were so many ways that my collegiate career prepared me for my professional career. I got to make mistakes and learn from them. I learned how to be patient and how to stay focused on one thing at a time, not getting caught up thinking too far ahead. I also learned the importance of consistency and staying healthy. I'm so fortunate to have had a coach who taught me these things and helped me execute them so well. I got to end my collegiate career knowing I had so much more in the tank, and for that, I'm so thankful. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and all the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned are what prepared me to make the Olympic team last year. The transition wasn't easy, but it was a whole lot better than it could have been had I not had such an amazing support system and collegiate experience to prepare me. Getting to see Coach Acuff and give her a hug after making the Olympic team was something I'll never forget. She played such a huge role in getting me to that point. For those who don't know, there are 3 rounds at the Olympic trials, and 3 rounds was something I'd never experienced before. It was a bit daunting going in, but in a way I felt so grounded and at peace because I knew I had done everything I needed to do to give myself the best shot at making that team. I at least like to think I would have been at peace no matter what the outcome was. I remember the night before the final, my grandma sent me a picture of the beautiful sunset at Keuka Lake. I felt so calm in knowing that no matter what the outcome was the next day, in less than a week I would be there for the 4th of July, spending time with my family, who I knew would still love me regardless of whether or not I was going to become an Olympian. So the way that I approached the trials was with joy and gratitude. I had so much to be thankful for, and that is what gave me the strength I needed to get through the 3 rounds, as well as a lot of food and sleep, coffee, and Nerds gummy clusters. And knowing I had a massive community backing me and cheering me on. The outpouring of support was truly incredible, so I want to thank you all for that. It really powered me through my experience at the Olympic trials. There were so many people who helped me along the way. Coaches, teammates, family, friends, teachers. So many people believed in me before I believed in myself. And that's why I value community so much. I didn't do this alone, and I feel incredibly lucky to have had people in my corner every step of the way. And that's why I'm so excited to be giving back to this amazing community, the same way others inspired and helped me. I want to be that person for the next generation of athletes and students, because when we show up for each other, that's when amazing things happen. For the past 6 years, my biggest dream and goal was to make the Olympics. I wish I could say I've been dreaming of being an Olympian since I was a kid, because that would be a pretty cool story. But the truth is, I never dreamed that big until college. But then I made it. Not only did I qualify, I ran the 3rd fastest time ever by an American in the 1500. Thank you. After that, I realized it was a realistic goal to make the final at the Olympics. In the 1st round, I made history at the Olympics as the first U.S. woman to break 4 in the 1500 there. But in the semifinals, I came in last. I didn't make the final, and I failed my new goal. But I was still able to walk away with pride because I knew I had given everything I had that day, and I knew this was just the beginning. Now I have an even stronger fire to achieve my new goal to be making finals at World Championships. I'll wrap this up, but I have one more story to tell. A few months ago, I faced my first minor injury in 5 years. It was enough to set me back in training. Instead of viewing it as a negative, I saw it as a blessing in disguise, a sign that I needed to take a step back, and I knew I would learn from it and come out the other end stronger. And I did. Just 2 months later, a few weeks ago at the New Balance Grand Prix, I ran a personal best in the 3K. I went from feeling the least healthy I've been in years to the strongest I've felt in my professional career. The lesson I learned from that is that success isn't just about talent and hard work. It's about mindset and perspective. It's about how you respond when things don't go your way and how you handle challenges that are thrown your way. You can let them get you down, or you can see them as an opportunity to make you stronger. So I'll leave you all with this. Life is full of experiences. Some will lift us up and some will knock us down. Sometimes we will succeed and sometimes we will fail, but every experience is an opportunity to learn and to grow and to improve. So my message to you all is this: go all in. Join me in this journey of becoming the best versions of ourselves. Put your all into everything you do and don't be afraid of failure. As one of my high school coaches, Rick Matarese, once told me before a race, it's better to have tried and failed than to have never tried at all. And dream big. I used to think making the Olympics was the pinnacle. Now I know it was just the beginning. So dream as big as you can, and there's no cap on what you can achieve. The only limit is the one you set on yourself, and it's never too late to start chasing a dream. Thank you.